My name is Kerstan Cooper, and I am a registered early childhood educator, and I work in a preschool room. I take care of 2.5-year-old to 4-year-olds. So I have a friend who has gone to church her whole life, and she started going to a new church, and she invited me to come out and watch her perform that day. And so I went out to see her and support her, and that was the first time that I'd gone to church since I was a kid, really. I kind of just kept coming back after that because I thought the environment was really amazing and there was something there that I wanted to just keep exploring more. I did go to church when I was really young, and then my family slowly stopped going, and so I just stopped going. And in my teen years, I didn't have any friends that went to church. My family didn't really go to church anymore, so it wasn't really a part of my life at all. I didn't really think about it much. I think I've definitely felt over the last few years that I was missing something, but I didn't know what that was, and I was doing lots of different things trying to figure it out. So I started going to the gym. I started kind of just working on myself a lot and just trying to figure out what it was I needed to deal with the things that I was going through and to cope with all the transitions of teenage years going into adulthood. So I didn't maybe necessarily realize that I had a void, but I was trying to fill something. When I went to church, or I guess went back to church for the first time, I walked in by myself and I felt very comfortable right away. I was greeted with smiling faces and open arms and just a lot of excitement, and I'd never felt that in a church environment before. I think that the thing that grabbed me the most about the service was definitely the music. I love music and I feel like I really relate to that, and when I was listening to the songs and the words, I could feel my heart reaching out for what was being said, and I just wanted to listen to more, and I just wanted to sing along and be a part of all the joy that was being spread throughout the room. Well, I remember talking to my friend about the service. She really wanted to know what I thought, and I kept saying that it was really awesome, that I enjoyed it a lot. I told my parents that I had gone to this church and that I thought it'd be really cool if they came and checked it out too, because they're really into music as well, and that was the thing that stood out to me initially. I just remember thinking I want to go back there, but it wasn't something that I was like planning to do right away. I didn't go actually back for a couple weeks because that was just not part of my life at the time, but I knew I wanted to go back. I got invited to go to a concert with some of my family members. It was a Christian concert. I'd never been to one before, but I was excited just to go because, like I said, I love the music. And when I walked into that space, I didn't really know what I was walking into or what to expect at all. And I just remember thinking, this is incredible, from the second that the first song started. I worshiped with all of these people. I know many of them were followers of Jesus. Some of them probably weren't. Some of them were probably just exploring like me. I just remember thinking, this is amazing. And just like listening to all of those lyrics and singing along to them, even though I never heard most of the songs before. The artist that was there actually asked the audience if there was anybody in the crowd who was unsure of whether or not they should follow Jesus or whether or not they could invite Jesus into their heart. And I felt like very anxious, and I remember my heart was pounding really fast, and I was like, it just felt like he was speaking to me. And so that was the moment that I kind of whispered under my breath, like, I want to let Jesus in. Going home, I just remember feeling like a weight had been lifted, and the next day at work, I was just telling everybody about my night. I slept for 3 hours. I wasn't tired. I explained it to people that like things just became more clear, and the idea of like life just being brighter, and that's what happened the day after that concert. Last fall, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, which was something that I never knew that I even had or that I even dealt with. And I slowly was navigating that and coping with it and trying to figure out ways to get over that, essentially. Like, how do I get rid of this feeling? And I found that once I started going to church and started changing who I hung out with and what I did on the weekend and just kind of how I approached my everyday, my anxiety was gone. And that gave me a sense of peace that I hadn't felt in a long time. Jesus has kind of just left me speechless. My name is Kerstan, and this is my story.